Hey everyone, my name's Jordan. We are going to be cooking today. It's kind of nasty out, so we're just going to stay in here. Alrighty, so for some peanut butter fudge, we will need sugar, peanut butter, milk, vanilla, and and fluff. Some people don't know what fluff is, but it's just pretty much just a jar of marshmallow. It's a marshmallow cream. Looks like that. We're not using the whole thing because that would be a lot of fluff. We're going to use about half of it because I got the bigger one so I can make more later. And then I have this Walmart peanut butter. It's actually really good. And I got this vanilla extract. I have my container of sugar. Then we'd also need a measuring cup so we can see the measurements going into the pot. We'll need one saucepan. I have a small spoon. It's like a tablespoon. Then I have a big spoon so I can scoop all the marshmallow out. Then I also have a big cake pan and some wax paper to put at the bottom. But we're not going to use that till later. So first we are going to measure out our sugar and our milk. And we're going to put that on the stove and it's going to boil. We're going to keep it on, I'll probably keep it on a medium heat setting. And this part you probably want your mom or your dad with you to help you with the stove because it can get hot and that could burn you. So first I'm going to do a half a cup of milk. So I'm going to get that out of the fridge. And it doesn't matter what milk you have. You can use the red cap, the blue cap, the pink cap, whichever one that you guys usually buy. So you don't have to go out and get more milk. So for our milk, we're only going to need a 1/4 of a cup. So if you look on the measuring cup, right about here. So we're going to pour that in there. And that's perfect, 1/4. You're just going to put that in the pan. Now, I'm going to put the milk back because you don't want it to stay out because if it's more milk, it's not that good. Now, I am going to get the sugar. And then I have a scoop in my sugar. So it helps, but I'm still going to use the measuring cup too so I can show you guys how much sugar to use exactly. There we go. Alrighty. And that's about a cup and a half. So we're going to want another half a cup. You just want to be careful because if you're anything like me, I tend to make a mess in the kitchen and it can get sticky when you get sugar wet. Okay, so I'm going to put that back and put that on top. So now that we have 2 cups of sugar, we're just going to dump it right in here. And then sometimes the sugar will stick to the milk, so you just want to take your spoon and just scrape it out. I usually do the sugar first so I don't get stuck to the measuring cup, but today I just did the milk first. Okay. Alrighty, that's enough of that. I just like to stir it to mix it in a little bit. Now, usually you don't want to use metal in a pan, but these pans are old and they're all scratched up anyway. And we have new ones. We just haven't got them out yet. So you just want to stir that until the sugar gets a little bit melted. And right now, I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like right now. Keep stirring it, and then when the heat starts, it will start melting the sugar. go. Alrighty. Now that all the sugar is pretty mixed in well, we'll get the sugar off that. All right. So now I'm going to turn my stove on a medium heat. And this part you probably want your mom or dad with you as well. So let me turn that back around. Alrighty. Okay, so now that we wait for this to get melted, we're gonna leave this on for about 3 to 5 minutes after it starts boiling. So we're gonna want it to melt some and then wait for the bubbles to start coming up. Right now I'm just rinsing off the spoon because there's some sugar, and I'm gonna add the vanilla. Now usually I just do a little splash, but since you guys need actual measurements, I'm gonna do a half a tablespoon. So, alrighty. You won't be able to really see, but it's not all the way full, but that would be enough for that. Now you don't want to get too far away from the stove because it can burn, so you just really want to stay close by so it doesn't get too hot or the bubbles will bubble over. So. And you can really smell that vanilla when you put it in there. It's very strong and good. I like to use the actual real vanilla and just chop off beans, but we don't have that today because all the grocery stores are kind of slim with what they have, considering everything going on. Now, if there's anyone watching, you guys can comment what you guys did today, if you've actually went outside, if you helped your mom cook breakfast, anything like that. Now, I like to keep the measuring cup close by to the stove because that way I can put the things I use in there so it don't make a mess on my counter. Now, I'm going to take my peanut butter and my fluff, and I'm going to rinse that spoon off one more time. And I'm going to fill up my measuring cup with some peanut butter. Let me throw this away. I just like to be ready because it's a quick process once it starts bubbling, because it'll cool very fast, and we don't want it to cool before I can mix all the ingredients in. So we're gonna do a cup and a half of peanut butter. So I'm just gonna scoop that in my measuring cup. And then we can see that. Right now we're about a half a cup. And to help it get to the bottom, just shake it up a little bit so gravity can hit it, so it can get to the bottom so we can measure it correctly. So we're almost there, a little bit more. Depending on the recipe you use, I use this one, but my aunt, she makes this fudge around Christmas time. And I'm gonna put that down because I'm gonna stir this up a little bit because you can show you real quick. It's starting to bubble. So you just want to constantly stir it so it doesn't burn. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to keep that on. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit just so it doesn't get too overheated, and so we have enough time to show you everything that you need to do. So this is about a cup and a half right here. So I'm just going to put that to the side. Now I'm going to put my peanut butter lid back on. That over here. And then I'm going to grab my cake pan and I'm going to show you what to do with this. So let me turn this handle around. So for your cake pan, you want to get the wax paper. And you just want to make sure it covers the bottom of the pan. I'll put that back so we don't have a big mess at the end. Now I'm gonna try to flatten the wax paper so there's not much air in it. And just make it get to the bottom. And then to make sure it doesn't stick, we're gonna get some cooking spray, just so it doesn't stick to the wax paper while it's cooling. Alrighty. I'm gonna put that back. So, alrighty, so now our mixture is starting to boil, and I'll show you what that looks like real quick. And we'll just keep stirring this for about 3 to 5 minutes. Here we go. So you see that? Just want to keep stirring it. I just want to make sure it's not too gritty. Make sure all the sugar melts. There we go. The first time I made this, I didn't put vanilla in it, but you can definitely taste the difference. So this time I decided to add vanilla, just put a little twist on it. Alrighty. So we're just going to keep continuously stirring that. Sorry, I have to move you around. Seems to me like every time I do a video, I need the charger on. So now with the peanut butter fluff, this is a full container right now. So I'm probably going to use just about half because this is a 13-ounce container and I only need 7 ounces. So half. So if there's 14, you want to use half. So you just want to use a little bit more. So I'll probably use it to about there. And I'm going to put this in on top of the peanut butter so that I can start mixing that together. Because it cools super quick once you take it off the heat. So I just want to make sure I'm able to stir everything in, because the first time I made it, I had a bunch of white clumps, but it's not bad, but it'll just make it easier. Alrighty. All right. Now that's about where I need to be. All right. So you can see that my container is about to that point where I said I needed to go. Now, if you get a regular 7-ounce container, which is probably half the size of this, you can just use the entire thing. So I'm going to take that and I'm just going to start mushing this together just so they can start getting a mixture together going. Because before I did one at a time and that just took up a lot of time. So that I find this probably a lot easier and quicker. You just want to mush it in. Now, after we're done mixing and putting it in the pan, we're going to put it in the fridge. And we're just going to let it cool for about 5-10 minutes, just to where it's not so hot no more, because once you put it in the pan, it's really hot because it's been bubbling on the stove for about 5 minutes. Okay. I am actually on video with you from Maryland, and that's where the state capitol is. And today it's not very nice out. I wish it was nicer, because the other day it was really, really hot outside, so I was able to do some outdoor activities, which was a lot of fun. So now I'm going to show you this. Alrighty. So now this is starting to boil. And it's right before it's about to burn. It's just really brown because of the vanilla. So I'm going to dump the mixture in there and I will show you that. Alrighty. So we're going to turn the heat off completely. And then I'm going to place the entire mixture in here. And it'll melt pretty quick. So we just want to make sure we get it all out. Alrighty. So I'm gonna stir this in. Now this part you definitely want your mom or dad to help you with because it can get kind of hard trying to mix it in. All right, now we're going to dump it into the pan. And I like small pieces so that there's a lot more fudge. So I'm going to try to flatten it out and make it the whole entire area of the pan. So we're going to just pat it down. It's already starting to cool, so I want to make this fast. And I can show you as soon as we get this flattened because I have to do it pretty quick. Okay. All right. So you can see I used pretty much the majority of it, but some got stuck to the sides. And then since I'm done with this pan, usually I let my sister eat the sides of it because all the fudge gets stuck on the bottom of the pan. But since I have this big pan right here, she can just eat some of that. I'm going to run water in this so it doesn't stick and it's not very hard to clean. Huh? Okay. Can I see you? Yeah. Can I hear you? Yes. Alrighty, so I'm going to show you this real quick. All right, so this is what the fudge is looking like right now, and we're just going to wait for it to cool. I'm going to set it in my fridge for about 5 minutes, well, 3 to 5 minutes, just depending. And then, yeah. And then that way it'll cool because the bottom of the pan's super hot, so you just want to be careful and have your mom or dad pick that up. Alrighty. Oh, don't mind my sister. She's over here sneaking some peanut butter. I'm going to put this in the fridge. Okay. Did you want the spoon? Okay, so she wants the spoon. So I'm going to give her that so then she can clean it. Alrighty. Now that we're waiting for the fudge to cool, I'm going to put away all my stuff so that there's not a big mess at the end. So, you know, take your put all the lids on tight so you don't get no bugs. Because ants are really bad around here sometimes. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll put this away. Alrighty. Okay, so now we're waiting for that. I was going to do a craft, but I couldn't find my supplies. So we'll have to do that another day. So for the fudge, all you have to do is at the end, I'm going to show you how to do this, but you'll need a knife and just a flat place to cut the fudge, because you want your parents to be there with you so you can help so they can help you, so you don't have to cut with the big knife. So you can use this one, but I like to use a butcher knife just because they're bigger and you can cut more with that. And the grids on these ones will make the fudge really flaky. So. Do you know where the lid is for this? Oh, yeah. I don't know. All right. So when the fudge is done cooling, I'm going to cut it and then put it in this tub. So that's not exposed to the air, because if it's exposed to the air, it'll get real hard. And you don't want hard fudge. You want fudgy fudge. So I'm going to get a rag and clean this up because we got some sugar some places. So you just want to get a wet rag, and you can put a little soap on there, but then it'll make it sudsy. So I'm just going to use a little bit of water on mine. So I just have a regular sponge. I'm just going to get a little wet. All right. Yeah, because sometimes all the sugar and stuff will attract more bugs, and you don't want that many bugs being around. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Now that our space is clean, sponge. Now, if you have any cookie cutters or any kind of shapes that you would like, you could do that with your fudge, but I don't have any of that today. I'm gonna have to go get some along with some food coloring, and so that next time I'll be able to use some colors and do some fun things with you guys. But for right now, I'm just going to use a regular knife and just cut straight down the middle, which I'll show you once this fudge cools. I'm actually about to go check that now because it doesn't take too long. It's just to make sure that it's solidified. Well, it's solid so that, oh, I got a booby trap. Just so that it's solid and it doesn't, it's not a runny fudge, because you don't want a runny fudge. That'd be kind of nasty. Okay. So I'm going to go check on that. So the bottom of my pan is still a little toasty, so I don't want to grab that just yet. But, I had a couple crafts that I could do. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab that. Here's a tub. Alrighty, so this is one of the crafts I was going to do outside, but I'll just do it today just so while we're waiting for our fudge to cool. But I went to the Dollar Tree, the dollar store, and I got some pom-poms. They're a lot of fun, cool colors. Like there's purple, green, blue, orange. A lot of popping ones. Yeah. They're real squishy. So I'm going to put these in these tubs. And if you watched my video the other day, this is the same tub I made some moon sand in. And it's just a tiny little tub. But I'm gonna put some water, some cool water in there. I'm probably gonna put it like 1 or 2 inches deep in the tub. Because you don't want to do hot water because it'll burn your fingers. So I have my water and my pom-poms, and they're just a lot of fun to play with. So here, I'll show you real quick. So here's my container, and then just they're so squishy and fun. You can squeeze all the water out of them. It's a really good activity, like if you're bored and you want to play, but you just don't know what to do, and you just have some of these pom-poms around. Like this is just a fun activity that you can just squeeze and just throw them back. And it's actually crazy because if you squeeze them, they're almost pretty much dry when you squeeze all the water out of them. If you can see. Oh, there you go. Like that. Because when the water's still in them, they make all that splashing, and that's all the water splashes everywhere. But like when you grab them like this, and you wring them out like that, squeeze it with your fingers, they're all light, and then they just fall right in. And then you can get a lot more too. I just only had 1 pack of pom-poms, and there's 80 little pom-poms in there. It doesn't look like much, huh? But it's definitely 80. And next time I'll just have to grab more so that you can play those. If there's anyone watching, you guys can comment and see and let me know if you've done this activity before, because I've seen some other people do it, made videos about playing with this because it's good for sensory learning and such. So if you guys did that, just comment, let me know, just say hey. Alrighty. So I think there's a hole in my tub because we are leaking. We have a leak somewhere. I don't know where it is. I guess that's what you get for going for the Dollar Tree tubs. But still working, just gotta clean that up. Alrighty, so I'm gonna drain the water out of this, and then I'm gonna leave my palms to dry. So you can play with them again. I can play with them again. So this is what I'll turn you around. There we go. So I'm just gonna stick this over the snake. Put my hand in the way so the pom-poms don't get into the snake, because if it goes down the drain, that can mess up your kitchen drain. You don't want that. Your mom will not be happy. Okay. And I'm just gonna take handfuls and just wring them out over. Alrighty. So since my leak is kind of big, I'm just gonna take this towel and wipe that down, and then wipe the floor, because then my dogs will get all muddy and get the floor all messy. Since it was nasty outside. Okay. All right, so our fudge should be pretty cool now, so I'm gonna go check that again. Okay. So I think that's pretty good. It's pretty hard, solid. So I'll show you what that looks like. So here, I don't know if you can see that. It looks pretty pixelated from my end, but hopefully it's not for yours and it's not blurry. Maybe if I back up a little bit. Alrighty. So for this part, I'm gonna take this to my kitchen table. Well, actually probably the counter over yonder. And I will start cutting the fudge that way. So I'm gonna move my palms back over here. And then you just want to make sure this is a clean space. So I'm just going to clean the counter off again over here so we can put the fudge down so we don't put it on our dirty counter. Alrighty. Because I'm just going to flip the wax paper right over here. So let's turn you around. Okay. Alrighty, here's our pan of fudge. And then I have our bowl and our knife. So this part you definitely want to have your mom or dad help you because knives can get pretty sharp and you don't want to cut yourself. I've done that before and that is not fun. I had stitches in my finger. Not a good time. Alrighty. So I'm going to put the knife down over there. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to flip it over. I'm actually going to put a piece of wax paper on the bottom as well, just so it doesn't get stuck. Alrighty. All right. Now that we have that down, I'll put foil down. I ran out of wax paper. So right now, your counter is going to look a little bit like this. I'm just going to put that down there on my apples. Okay. Alrighty. So now I'm going to take my pan, move it over, and I'm just going to lift my fudge pan like this, and I'm going to hold the top and just flip it over. Well, actually, I'm just going to take the whole thing. You can take it from the sides. And just be careful because it might be a little warm at the bottom. Mine's not, but just in case you pull yours out a little early, you don't want to burn your fingers. And then you're just going to pull. Ooh, oh no. Fudge difficulties. Fudge difficulties. Alrighty. All right. Now that that's down, I'm going to lift the wax paper up. And then this you can just throw away because you won't need that no more. Okay. So now that our fudge is down here, so this is how you want your mom and dad. Now the fudge is going to look like this on the bottom. And this is a perfect opportunity if you have a cookie cutter, like different shapes. I know they have butterflies, they have stars, hearts, all that stuff. You can just put it in the middle and just make that, and then you can have the extra fudge just to snack on. But today I'm just going to use my knife like I said. Now I like to have just little squares, so I'm going to take it from the top and just cut down. And then it might be sound a little crunchy, but that's okay. And then cut down. Show you guys while I'm chopping these. So you just want to take it from the end and just cut across. No, it's okay if you have bigger pieces than others. I mean, it's all the same. And then here. I guess I'll cut that side too. It's kind of big pieces right there. And then, alrighty. Now I'm going to cut down here, kind of cutting like a cake so that I have more pieces to share with everybody. Alrighty. And they're really easy to store. You just put them in a container, and then you can put some wax paper in there. It's kind of a good thing I chose to do the aluminum foil instead of the wax paper, so that way I could put that in with the fudge. Okay. Alright. And it's so easy to take to the park. You can just put it in a little container or a little sandwich baggie and just take to the park with you for a little snack. These are actually cutting way better than what I did the first time. The first time I made it, oh man, I had some triangles, rectangles, hexagons. I had all the shapes. Alrighty. Then the last one. Alrighty. So now that all of our fudge is cut, I'm gonna put it in this little container. Now this probably won't fit all of it, but that's okay because I can get another one because I have a couple different ones. So this one, like that. Put your hand in there and just squash it down like that. And then you just want to pick up pieces of fudge and just put them in there. That way they stay fresh. Alrighty. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you all had a lot of fun, and I hope you're able to cook this one day. That would be a lot of fun to cook with your mom, your brother, your sisters, or your dad. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next week.